Hey everybody, Seth Braun here. Projecting your voice. I just had a session with a client. He asked me, Seth, I'm going to be doing speaking, but I find myself holding back on projecting my voice. My voice is right here. I don't know how to project into the room. And this is a fascinating topic to me. This is a topic that I actually am in love with. I love the voice. I love working with a voice. I love working with a voice with people. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some inner game and some outer game techniques that you can use to increase projection and thereby increase your effectiveness, your persuasiveness, your charisma as a speaker. The voice carries so much in it. And in this video, it's interesting because I know that I have other office mates, I have other suite mates, and so I'm actually keeping my voice projection at right about here because I've learned to project my voice really, really, really loud if I need to and get bigger and bigger and bigger, but I'm not going to because I want to respect that there are other people in this office. Projecting the voice, inner game. I love watching these videos on YouTube from Elliott Hulse. He's got a business called Strength Camp in Florida. And I first found his videos when I was looking at increasing my strength in terms of how to do good deadlifts, how to have good squat form. But then I kept watching his videos because he had a lot of great things to say. And he has this video of how he learned to deepen his voice. And it's really fascinating to watch his earlier videos and his later videos because his voice is dramatically deeper, more resonant. And he talks about having less tension in the body and opening the body up and this kind of somatic emotional tension pattern that we can carry throughout different parts of our body that keep us from having a deep, resonant voice that can then project. And that, I think, is the essence, which is what I told my client. I said, there's a lot of people that'll talk to you about form and give you advice about speaking. But what people really want in a great speaker is presence. And when your voice is just an expression of your presence, it's not something that you condition yourself, it's not a tool that you're using, it's just an expression of who you are, then it's incredibly powerful. So this first piece is about doing the physical work to loosen up tension patterns in the body. Opening up the jaw, shaking out. And Elliott in his videos talks about this, these kind of bioenergetics and shaking out, and that's consistent with the voice work that I've done. I've got a degree in performing arts. I studied voice. I studied kind of the esoteric, metaphysical aspects of voice, the physical aspects of voice, voice on stage, and we did all sorts of exercises to loosen the body and shake the body and really open up the chest resonator and the face and the back to let the voice resonate and resound in the body. But with that, there is this kind of emotional quality that gets released as well. Now, I studied it as archetypes, that the voice represents every single archetype in human consciousness, that a man can make a woman's voice or a child's voice, and a woman can make a man's voice. We can make a monster's voice or an angelic voice. All those voices exist within us. So when we begin to make friends with the totality of who we are, and oftentimes what this means in practicality from the inner game perspective is making friends with your anger, your intensity, your meanness. Now, I don't mean you should get up and insult the audience or when you're speaking to actually be mean and aggressive, but maybe a little bit of that flavor in there so that if you need to make a point, you can get in there with people and say, hey, if you're not going to do what I tell you to do in this talk, then maybe you should just save your time and mine and leave now, because what I'm about to share with you could change your life. And when you have that authentic intensity and you're okay with having that little bit of juice or a little bit of aggressiveness in a healthy way, then people are going to really get pulled in. Now you have to balance that with some lightness and some sweetness and some humor to release that tension, but you want to have something called emotional vastness, which I learned from Paul Ortel at Naropa in a class called Presence, Voice, and Sound, to, as much as possible, take off the mask that we wear day to day and be more authentic. And you know what? That's an ongoing task that I'm still learning how to do, but it's a practice. So I think that's the foundation of having good projection. It's the inner game of becoming more of who you are. The outer game is, we touched on it a little bit, doing exercises to free the body, shaking, stretching, certainly massaging the jaw. But there are two things that you can practice, practical tips to help you project more. One is just to project more, and the place I like to encourage clients to do this is in the car, and just talk, speak at the highest point of your volume in the car. And again, I'm not going to project at the highest part of my volume because I don't want to blast out the office, because I can get really, really loud. But you just get in the car and you just start projecting your voice as loud as you can, and you really get the whole car to kind of resonate, becomes a chamber. It's kind of fun. And the second thing you can do is you can practice humming, because you generate power from your diaphragm to push through the vocal cords and out, and it's like a megaphone. And when you hum, it projects that power right here and it comes out. And when you speak, if you can have the same energy as humming, you get a nice projection of that vocal power outward, and it doesn't get caught in your throat or in your chest or go too far into your head. So by humming, then practicing what you're going to say or sing through humming, this way of speaking allows there to be a nice, expressed, powerful megaphone out, not getting caught in other areas of the body. So those are two things you can do. You can practice in the car, filling the space, resonating the chamber of the car, and you can practice humming, because this is the feeling that you want to have all the time when you speak. We've looked at the inner game as well, this idea that we have within us, this vastness of expressive possibility, that we have male and female, child and wise elder, we have monsters and angels, and we have all aspects of human psyche within us. Each one of those can express in your voice. And that emotional vastness, being willing to bring in some anger and some meanness and some aggressiveness, as well as some sweetness, some light, and some humor in your speaking, will help you to project authentically with authentic presence, because that's what people want. They want to connect with your authentic presence. This has been Seth Braun giving you some tips on how to project your voice in speaking, because we know speaking continues to be the best way to build a practice and expand awareness for your business, whether it's live or on video. Thanks for watching.